Good morning. This is Cheryl Ann again. I wanted to take you through some of the journals that I've made and then take you through the one that I'm currently using. It's kind of a cloudy day here in Southern California and the lighting is not ideal, but I have the time. I don't have to babysit today, so I thought I'd better get this done. These are a few of my early journals. I've made 30 now. And I've done everything from using a book with signatures, a real junk journal. This one was a file folder. I just cut it and I put the papers in lengthwise. I kind of like this one. It's really cute. There's a lot of Western things. I'll cut out some photos from magazines. And then this is just another little one. Somebody was asking about their journals, and I always put a little tag in mine. I usually number them. This one doesn't have a number, but at least I can remember when I made it. And again, I didn't know about coffee dyeing when I made this one. It's just a little journal. Kind of a little junk journal. There's a coffee dyed paper. I guess I started experimenting. I was still using Mod Podge when I made this one. I don't think I'd ever use Mod Podge again. This is one I made for a swap. I wasn't happy with the way it came out. And I didn't want to send it to anybody. I was afraid they'd make fun of it. So I didn't send it. I just kept it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And again, it has Mod Podge, so it's real sticky and the pages stick together. I'm not happy with that. I don't even want the stuff in my house anymore. I prefer the gel medium. Here's some little pockets. I really tried to do everything for the swap. And there's a little tag. I wasn't happy with it. These are two of my personal journals that I used last summer. This one I started in July, and I don't want to show you all the stuff, but I kept kind of my receipts, and I kept my bills, and because I just retired and I wanted to make sure we had enough money for food. I started keeping some ideas about journals, because when I first started, I didn't have anything. I had never been a crafter, so I didn't have any materials. And then this one I just put together for fun. I just went through some Palm Springs Life magazines or Arizona highways, and I found some photos that I really liked, besides my own, of course. This is where I want to be. I want to be camping in the mountains with a fire. Just some nice photos. I like that one. That's Cholla cactus. You have to be real careful around that stuff. That's up at Joshua Tree National Park. So then I made my own, and I took a Western garden book, and I had these bags. They were from Dollar Tree. So each signature has a different bag to separate them. And while I loved the bags, I didn't love trying to get them in into a journal. They turned out to be very stiff. They were very difficult to sew through, which, I didn't know at the time. I didn't know any better. So this is what happened to my spine. I didn't know either that when you have a template, you need to label it top and bottom, and I switched them around and the holes didn't line up and I had a real mess. I was so frustrated. I threw this thing across the room and let it sit on the floor overnight. But the next morning I got up and I thought, you can fix this. So I just sat down and I redid one whole signature, and I kind of re-sewed it, and now it's fine. You know, nobody else would want this book, but this is my daily journal. I write about the birds. I took it to Arizona with us. I collected feathers. I wrote down some of the things we saw on the trip. I talked about the weather. You know, sometimes people don't know what to write about. I write about what I see. I'm very visual. As it was, we had a thunderstorm up in Idlewild. That's our local mountains. And again, this is not to be real showy. This is for me to write down my thoughts. You know, I'm a writer. Well, here's our visitors to the little cabin that we rent up in the mountains. I'm a writer. I have 3 working blogs plus my journals. So I'm going to talk about the weather here in the desert. We had a really hot summer, so I wanted to document that. And then finally, the first day of autumn. Yeah, it was finally chilly. Finally got out of the triple digits. So I just keep plugging away. Just keep writing about the grandkids, the birds, the Cooper's hawk that comes now and eats the birds. We have a roadrunner that shows up once in a while. I'm going to put a couple of my photos in here. This is kind of a spooky tree. It's a dead pinyon up in our local mountains. I like to use the fabric. I think that adds a lot, and I did some stamping. So, you know, if you don't know what to write about, you know, what do you see? What do you see out your windows? What's happening? What's happening outside? Yeah, a little bit of fabric. I really love this journal. Nobody else would want it, like I said, but it has lots of pockets and envelopes and has tons of room to write. It has a lot of different pages. That was for Halloween. I got kind of carried away with the stickers. You know, some of them are coffee dyed. I love this. This is the brown packing paper that comes when you get an Amazon box. This is that packing paper. I love it. My husband thinks I'm nuts. Every time he gets a box from Amazon, I run out and grab the paper. I haven't got this far. I'm about halfway through this book now. This journal. So, ta-da! I have the next one all ready to go. This one, I did a better job on the spine. And it has 4 signatures too, but I remembered to label my template and put it in the right way instead of flipping it up the other way. So this one will be the second one. And again, I've just, you know, kind of collected photos that I look at. This is it's a oversized book. So these Arizona highway photos, I think that's a coffee bean pamphlet. I mean, I tried to stick all kinds of things in here. I think that's a calendar page, or yeah, it's a calendar page. Some of them I just like to look at the pictures. A lot of Arizona highways because that size fits this particular journal really well. So what I'm trying to say, if you don't know what to write about, you know, look outside, what's going on. What are your kids doing? What are the grandkids doing? What silly things do they do? The 18-month-old and I have a new game. It's called Grandma Chases Him Around the Kitchen Island and Tries to Tickle Him. So he thinks that's a great game. It wears me out. It wears him out. But, you know, we have a lot of giggles, so don't be afraid to experiment, you know, try different papers, try different sizes. See, this is it's a smaller page, but, you know, I love to put the music in my journals. I'll talk about the hummingbirds in the yard. There's a Gaelic blessing. I really like that. So I put it in there. Just things that catch your eye. A photograph, a quote. Really, it's a book about memories. So, have a great day. Enjoy your day. And happy journaling. I'll see you next time.